بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب زدني علما.
Now, if you just try to see what is the roadmap whenever you are planning for CCNP Enterprise, that's what we will be doing here. So in case if you're planning for CCNP Enterprise, we need to make sure that you must have a strong CCNA foundation skills. So basically, the first thing we need to have the prerequisite is make sure that you have a good CCNA foundation skills, like the current paper 200-301 or whatever the module. That's kind of a prerequisite. Okay. So now there is a possibility that you might be a fresher where you don't have any experience, or you might be already working or working in a different domain, or maybe you're working on a different expertise. Maybe you're working on a server side, or maybe you're working on the desktop side, or maybe any other kind of a background, maybe non-technical background as well. So the main thing, you need to have a good foundations on the CCNA level skills. Especially there are a few concepts which you need to be very good. Like we have a subnetting concepts, what is covered in the CCNA. Now the reason is because majority of these concepts will not come again in the CCNP. So when you start with the CCNP, most of the time we expect you to already have some good level of understanding on the basic switching as well as the routing. Of course, we'll start with the VLANs and on those things. When you talk about the switching, we start with the VLANs. From VLANs, whatever is covered in the CCNA. When you talk about OSPF, we start with the OSPF and the EHRP protocols, covering the other protocols like BGP or the route filtering options. But again, the prerequisite, you need to have a good foundation skills here. That's very important. So majority, the main problem is you directly jump from CCNA into CCNP. That is also good, but at the same time, you need to make sure that you have a good level of understanding. So any subject you do normally, whether it's CCNA, CCNP, the main thing is you need to make sure that you understand the concepts. That's the first step of expertising the thing. So basically, anything you want to expertise, any subject it can be, the first thing is you need to make sure that you understand the concepts. That's really important for you to follow up with the classes, because if you don't understand, then it will be very difficult for you to follow up. Now for this, you need to be a simple thing. You need to be regular with the classes, and of course you need to make sure that you revise what you have learned before the next class. That will be sufficient in order to make sure that you understand the concepts. So this is something very important for you to do. And the second thing is, once you understand the concepts, okay, so once you understand the concepts, the second step is you need to take it to the expertise level, because not just attending the classes regular and maybe occasionally revising the topics, or maybe revising the topics before the next class, that is good, but that will not make you to the expert level. So whether it is CCNA or CCNP, any class, I'm not just CCIE, whatever the class. But the second thing, what generally I found is because sometimes we will be regular for the class. The problem is we won't be regular for the classes. Of course, that's a kind of a challenge. It has to be. And even it's not like you are just doing live classes. Even if you're doing videos, learning through videos, because I'm just recording this for the same videos as well, you need to dedicate one fixed number of videos you have to cover up per day or per week, whatever it is. You have to fix the deadlines. Now, the second thing is you need to revise and practice. Of course, revision is just, this revise is just a quick review of the topics, what you covered yesterday, to be able to continue for the next classes. Now, the second revision here is typically based on the videos, revise and practice. Probably the second step, you need to make sure that you revise. At the same time, you practice the labs. So this is very important. The main thing is, if you just listen to the classes, it looks like you understood, but at the end, you slowly forget the subject, because you keep on adding the new topics every week. So you keep on adding the new topics, which means you will start forgetting the old topics, and it will be very difficult for you to again start from the scratch. Again, let's say we have completed the OSPF topic or some switching topic, then you want to revise. Many people, I have seen many people in my regular offline sessions, they just spend 1 month on the course, and the next month they will say, okay, I'll take 1 month gap and then I'll do the revision. So by the time, it will be gone, almost whatever the things, 50% of the concepts, whatever you learn, it will be gone from your mind. Again, you have to revise, again, you have to re-listen, again, you have to revise. And that's where you end up after 3-4 months. Again, you will be in the same position where you started. So revising and practicing the labs is very important. And in this, you have to fix the number of hours per day as per the schedule. That's also very important. So while you're doing this, make sure that you have to fix the schedule. Now these two things are mandatory things you need to do. And for this, you have to fix the schedule. And normally the schedule, generally I say, like, if you're doing the weekday classes, generally the weekday classes, which I do CCNA or some other classes, normally the basic classes, generally, let's say there will be a 5-day class. So which means you're spending around 5 day into 90 minutes, let's say 90-minute session, 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours of time you'll be spending on the classes. So if you're doing the same thing with the videos, then probably the same number of hours you have to dedicate, like 2 hours per day, 5 days a week. Roughly, that's something you have to do this for the first step. The first step, that is to understand either doing the regular class or referring the videos. Now, for the next thing, you have to make sure that for the second thing, you need to fix the schedule. And again, if you're doing the weekend class, like we are doing also the weekend sessions, probably roughly it will be like 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours of thing. But at the same time, like we do generally weekend classes, like let's say roughly 2 hours to 2.5 hours, depending upon the topic, because most of the weekend classes, we have people also working. Then you have to fix this thing. So that will vary. Now the number of hours will vary, like I said, and also it will vary based on the individuals. I'll also come to the individual slots. Now, the next thing, you need to make sure that you also practice the labs. Now, for practicing, if you're not working, again, if you're not working, then probably in general, even if you're working, you have to dedicate 2 hours per day for the labs. That's something, which means in the overall week, you need to dedicate 10 hours per week, let's say 5 days. And whatever the weekend you get, probably you need to dedicate 5 plus 5 hours of revision. Now, this is also important because most of the time, the problem is we just think that, we just attend the classes and we just listen to the topics and we understood the concepts and we also able to do some labs, let's say, not all, then we are good enough to go with. But basically, you have to be in order to be an expertise, you must follow these fixed schedules. You have to make sure that you follow these fixed schedules. Like if I go with the regular sessions, then roughly, like I said, especially for the beginners, you need to dedicate at least 20 hours of, totally it is 30 hours of time what I allocated, 10 hours for the classes, let's say, 10 or 5, depending upon whatever the schedule, the class schedule. If it is videos also, you have to fix this schedule. And then probably additional 10 hours for the lab practice. And then additional 10 hours on the weekends for the revision of the labs and interview questions, preparing some interview questions or reading some additional reference books, whatever. This is to expertise. So maybe you're referring some other books, or maybe you just revise through PPTs or preparing some interview questions or doing some labs, advanced labs, or designing your own labs, these things. So this is roughly 30 hours of schedule. These things you have to fix, or else it's very difficult, to be frank, because then it looks like as if you have done the course, but the problem is you just understand the concepts and you will drop out. That's what you will see in the classes. Normally you will see at the end of by the time we finish the 50 to 60% of the courses, you will see there will be a drop in the students, especially with online, because offline we don't have that issues, because offline they are if they are based in offline, when I'm doing in Hyderabad here, probably they little bit more dedication. But now the things has changed since COVID and all, online learning gives you more flexibility for you, especially saves your 2 hours of time for traveling to the institution, and then now you have all the resources. So fixed a 30 hours of schedule. And if you're working, you can minimize it. Like I said, if you're working, then this can be minimized to 20 hours, but there must be a fixed schedule, to be frank, because per week you have 7 into 24, roughly what is 24 into 7? You can see like almost 170 hours of, okay, so 170, right? Roughly how many hours? 7 hours, roughly around 170 hours, somewhere around. And in that, even if you take out 8 hours per day, 7, 8 sevens, roughly 70 hours if you take for, still you have additional hours. So if you're not working, then probably it's very easy to dedicate this one. Even if you're working, this is mandatory for you, to be frank, because you're just taking out 30 hours of time for all these things. And finally, on the weekend, like I said, the revised session, the 10 hours, you have to do it on expertising. Now, expertising is very important. Now, expertising the subject is very important. So the first step, well, you need to attend with the classes or regular watch the videos. Probably that will help you to understand the concepts. Of course, you have to practice the labs, whatever the practicals we are doing in the class. You have to make sure that you do it multiple times with the same lab or with a new slightly different scenario. Minimum, whatever is in the workbook, you have to do. That's the minimum thing. Most people stop here only. Most people stop here. Most people stop here, and some people, they go beyond. They stop here. They just think that we're able to do the labs. We're able to understand the concept. That is sufficient, but that's not sufficient, to be frank. Just take a simple example. If you're facing general interviews, let's say now you complete your course. Let's say now you're doing CCNP or CCNA, whatever the course you're doing. Let's say you complete the course. Maybe after those things, basically those things will help you. So the third thing, you need to expertise the subjects. Expertising the subject is also important, because the thing is, once you start facing the interviews, once you start going into the job, or if you're already working, once you start getting into core implementations, it's really important that you have to be an expert. You have to be an expert. Now, to expertise the subject, there are many things you can do. Like I said, doing some advanced mock labs, which generally will share for a course, or even if you're teaching others, like I said, if you're teaching others, that will also help you to expertise. There are many tips to expertise the subject, especially preparing the certification questions will also help you to expertise the concepts. That also automatically allows you to prepare the interview questions as well, interview preparation as well. Because at the end, if you have some two openings, and there are 100 people attending the interviews, they will only select the best two, obviously, at the end. So in order to be the best two, you need to be at the third step. Okay. Of course, you can teach others as well. There are many tips for all these things. Okay. There are many things you can do. And this is what you need to have: a fixed schedule. You might be working, you might be married, you have your family, you have a lot of responsibilities at then, but this is something you have to plan. So roughly, like I said, for the step one, this is the step one for 10 hours, roughly 5 to 10 hours, whatever the class schedule. Okay. Whether you are opting for the weekend, if you're doing with the training videos, self-learning with the training videos, because majority of the students, like I said, not possible for them to join the live online classes. They do with the self-training videos. Even this is something for them as well. You have to dedicate the 2 hours of learning, and then the practice and revise the topics. Revise what you understood. It's not revise to expertise. Probably at the end of the week and in the 10 hours, probably this is where you try to revise to be an expert. Okay, so anything it can be. This is a minimum slots. Of course, for the CCI level, you need to have more time, but just in this, the number of hours will increase for the CCI level. But at least for the CCNA CCNP level, this is something very important to follow.